Hello friends, this is Sripal Gandhi, your friend, and I am back again to do something which is very magical. Sripal, magical? Yes, because the topic itself is magic of 10. Do you know something very interesting? That in gymnastics, 10 is the highest score you can get. That's why it's called perfect 10. A Romanian athlete, Nadia Comaneci, she scored 10, and the entire world looked at it with disbelief that how can you score 10, because that is the highest you can get, right? It's like scoring 100 out of 100 in your class, like getting 100%. Power of 10. In football, if you look at the greatest player, Maradona, Pele, Messi, what is written on their jersey? 10, right? Again, if you look at favorite list, whether it is your music list, whether it is your top 10 Bollywood or Hollywood actor, top 10 actress, top 10 richest people, top 10 social workers, top 10 philanthropists, we always talk like this, right? Top 10. And because top 10 is something which is revered, which is respected a lot. Multiplication, in fact, I'm sure you will agree that the table of 10 was the easiest thing to do in when we were studying the math, right? Back in these early days in our school. Very, very interesting thing. Another thing is when we are looking at 10, in my school, all the class tests were also out of 10. So you get score out of 10. In angel numerology, 10 represents a magical number. And 10 often comes in our life, right? 10 often comes in our life. OFTEN. That is the power of 10. So कुछ कमाल का करते हैं अभी. Let's do an activity. I will ask you something. Tell me which are the words which you can think of which have this spelling or which has this word called as 10. What are those words? Let's look at them. I'll give you an example. So let's say for instance tent, T-E-N-T, tent. What are the other examples? Eaten, eaten, right? Stent. If any of you have had bypass surgery, you may have a stent in your heart, right? Also, extent, E-X-T-E-N-T. Think. और कौन से examples है? Write it in the chat box or write it in the link in the comment section below. What are the other examples of 10? Extent. To what extent you push yourself decides the growth in your life. Also, intent. I-N-T-E-N-T. With what intent you are seeing this video decides and tells a lot about you. Last one is tentacles. And you can come up with many words like this. Interesting, no? Power of 10, magic of 10. Now, let's play a quiz. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you a sentence and you have to fill in the blanks and listen carefully. The fill in the blanks is only one word. So you can't have be attentive. It has to be one word. Secondly, it has to have the spelling of 10, which means T-E-N should be a part of that word. Right? Ready? Okay, let's do it. So, when things go wrong, we get ... Socho. We get what? When things go wrong, we get happy, we get frustrated. Does it have 10? T-E-N? No. Socho. We get tensed. T-E-N-S-E-D. Tense. Another one. A cricketing giant is named as... Easy. This though everybody is like superstar here. Everybody knows this. Tendulkar. When someone is speaking, we should ... Listen. We should attend. Attend doesn't have T-E-N. We should listen. L-I-S-T-E-N. For a breakthrough invention, one should file a patent. P-A-T-E-N-T. And as the proverb grows, once ... twice shy. Yes, I think you are all smart guys. Once bitten, B-I-T-T-E-N. Twice shy. Interesting, isn't it? So, few more fill in the blanks. Okay. Nole is a which player? Dot 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 player. Socho socho. Which player? Tennis player. Yes. Babies' bums are soft and tender. Good one. TEN tender, right? Don't say mine too. No one likes to pay attention to boring classes, boring lectures. Attention, right? I threw away apple because it was dot dot dot. What? Broken. Where is TEN 10 in broken? No, galat jawab. So I threw away apple because it was dot dot dot. Are you talking about your Apple iPhone or you're talking about an apple as fruit? I threw away apple because it was rotten. ROTTEN. And in this quiz which we took right now, this is the dot 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 question. Socho, last one. This is 10th question. TENTH, 10th question. Interesting, isn't it? Today we learned something very interesting about a power of 10 and the magic of 10. What we are going to do now is very interesting because if we want to have this magic of 10 and experience the power of 10, we need to do something. But before that, just now Independence Day has gone and I have something very interesting. So what we are going to do is we are going to sing a song. And this is a song which all of you know. Okay, are you ready? Ready? Okay, 3, 2, 1. हम होंगे कामयाब, हम होंगे कामयाब, हम होंगे कामयाब एक दिन, हो मन में है विश्वास, पूरा है विश्वास, हम होंगे कामयाब एक दिन. होंगे कामयाब. Now, do you know, to become kamyab, to become successful, to achieve, to progress in life, what we need is to experience this power of 10 and this magic of 10. And today, we are going to discuss exactly that. So, are you all ready to discuss the magic of 10? Here you go. The first one is called Kamal Karo. Very, very interesting. Because Kamal Karo is all about breaking your comfort zone. Whatever you are doing, you are setting up standards, you are setting up benchmarks. The idea is really to push yourself out of your comfort zone. How do you do that? Listen carefully. Do something which you have not done before. Secondly, do something which you think is very difficult or impossible, or you feel you cannot do it. I repeat again, do something which you haven't done before and do something which you think you cannot do. When you do any of these two or both, you push yourself, you get out of comfort zone, and that's where you start doing things which are kamal ka. Maza aa gaya life mein. We set a new standard, new benchmark. You also feel, oh, I never thought I could do this, but I did this. What better gift to give it to ourselves to rise in our own eyes? When we do things and say, Kamal ka kiya kuch. In my life, when I was in 10th standard, I scored well, stood first in divisional board. And then I was thinking, what is next? Now, shall I go take commerce? Shall I go take science? Somebody advised me to take science, so I took science. 11th, 12th, I had a cousin whose name was Sachin Bhaiya. He was studying chemical engineering. And once during this summer vacation, he was at home. So I asked him, Sachin Bhaiya, which is the best college in India to study? And he told me it is ranked above IITs, but it is the topmost college not only in India but also in Asia. It is called UDCT from Bombay. Now it is called ICT, Institute of Chemical Technology, but very tough to get admission. So I asked him, so what does it take? So he told me it requires very high score, more than 98% marks you need to score in 12th to get admission in UDCT. And from that day, it became the goal of life. Because for me, it was either I have to go there. People used to ask, what is your second choice if you don't get into UDCT? And I used to tell them, either I will go to UDCT and do chemical engineering, or I will stay in my hometown in Ichilkaranji and run a sari shop which my father has. And there was no third option. So it was either कुछ करेंगे तो कमाल का करेंगे तो नहीं करेंगे. And in 12th standard, I scored 99.33%. That was the only goal. I really pushed. This is the maximum efforts I would have put in when it comes to study. And I got into UDCT. Because सोच ये थी कुछ करेंगे ना कमाल का करेंगे. Few months back in our fraternity, there was a fitness challenge. And plank, right? When you kind of hold your hand like this in a push-up position and just stand. This is your core test. If your core is strong, you can stand like this for a long time. And I was not able to do even 30 seconds plank. I will crash before that. And that did something. I said, this is not good. We have got to push. We got to be very fit, and push ourselves. But again, the whole idea was, अभी करना है ना, तो कुछ कमाल का करेंगे, नहीं तो नहीं करेंगे. Even if it is fitness, doesn't really matter. But decide किया है तो कुछ कमाल का करेंगे. What I started doing, every day I started adding 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 40 seconds plank, 50 seconds plank, 60 seconds plank. Like that, I kept on adding 10 seconds, and now I can do plank for 4.5 minutes non-stop. करेंगे ना तो कुछ कमाल का करेंगे. Isn't it true in your life as well? Whether it is studies, अभी 10th standard है, 9th standard है, अगर पढ़ाई करना है तो it has to be the best. If you are playing a sport, it has to be the best. If you are even partying with your friend, you should party and have a blast. It has to be the best. कुछ कमाल का ही करना है वहाँ पे भी. Some of you like sports, some of you may like trekking, right? Trekking करना है तो then there also you should say कुछ कमाल का ही करेंगे. We will go to a new peak which we have not gone and climbed before. Whatever you do something wherein you should be able to say ये कुछ कमाल का किया. Second great mindset you need in life is called धमाल करो. Let me tell you something very interesting. Shah Hussain was popularly known as Lal Shahbaz Qalandar. Why was it called Lal Shahbaz Qalandar? Lal because of the ruby-like glow on his face. Shahbaz because Shahbaz denotes divine and noble spirit. And Qalandar means a wandering spiritual soul. He was one of the most respected, revered saint. And interestingly, by a lot of other religion. It is not only one religion, which is very rare to find. One of the greatest saints known, from 12th century. What he was known for? If I sing this, you will know who am I talking about. You may not know Shah Hussain or Lal Shahbaz Qalandar, but you will know this. Damadam Mast Qalandar, Damadam Mast Qalandar, Ho Lal Meri Pat Rakhiyo Bala Jule Lalana, Sindri Da, Sevan Da Saki Shahbaz Qalandar, Damadam Mast Qalandar. You know this song, right? You like to dance, you like to party on this song. So Shah Hussain was born in Afghanistan. Later on, he grew up in Baghdad. And then his family migrated to Indian subcontinent in Sindh. That's why in the song it says, Da Sindarila. And he settled in Sindh. When he settled in Sindh, which is now a part of Pakistan, the kind of work he was doing because of its acts and deed, he attracted people from all over the world, and they started respecting him for what he and his teaching and his preaching represented. He is no more today, but his disciples and people who follow him across the world, it's already been 400, 500 years and people follow his preachings and his message. So in Pakistan, there is a place which is called Shewan. And there is a shrine which is a place of worship. On 16 February 2017, it was attacked by terrorists. And there was a suicide bomber who came and attacked the entire place and killed 88 people. Do you know this? Despite 88 people dying, next day, 3:30 a.m. in the morning, caretaker rang the bell. Everything went as normal. And in the evening, they had dhamal, what is a dancing meditative ceremony. Because they said, you cannot intimate us by any kind of attack because we are a follower of Lal Shahbaz Kalandar. Does it happen in our life? A lot of times things don't go as we want. We don't get desired result as we want, and we get disappointed. We booked an Uber car, a driver cancelled it, we get very annoyed. You are driving in the traffic, you are riding a bike, somebody comes, cuts you and goes. You get very restless, you very upset. You prepared very well for exams, but somebody cheated and got better score, more score than you. And how do you handle in these kind of situations? Your friends are throwing party, but you are not invited. How do you feel? Because dhamal is your ability to bounce back after you have gone through a suffering or a setback. Dhamal is your ability to hold on to the suffering the shortest span of time. How fast do you bounce back? How fast can you let go your sufferings? That determines if you have a dhamal mindset. Even whenever I have a tough time, what I do, for me, one of the best way to do this is I just go, I love pani puri. And I go and have pani puri if I don't have a great day. If I have a great day, I also do that. But especially when I don't have a great day. And it just changes the entire mood. It brings you back in the peak state again. Whatever happens, the disciple said, we will not stop celebrating. That is dhamal. कुछ भी करेगा लेकिन धमाल तो करना ही है. Because there is always a brighter side in life. You just need to look at that. Whatever happened, जो हुआ सो हुआ. उसके ऊपर why do we keep brooding on it? You know, I see a lot of small things. If it happens to us, we get बहुत निराश हो जाते हैं, बहुत हताश हो जाते हैं. We sulk. If you have dhamal mindset, look at all the greatest and the most successful people in the world, you will find this quality in them. They know how to do dhamal karo. Because they have dhamal karo mindset. They know how to bounce back big in life, bounce back fast. Dhamal karo. Very, very important quality to have. Third great mindset is bravery. You know, and what better example of bravery than just Independence Day, which we celebrated recently? One of the best example of bravery and valor, isn't it? What is bravery? Bravery, is it absence of fear? No. Bravery is going ahead despite fear. You should always choose courage over fear. Because if you give up on yourself, how do you expect the world to bet on you? If you create your own boundaries and you don't explore and you don't take bold steps, how do you expect the world again to bet on you? That's why they say, हिम्मते मर्दा तो मददे खुदा. He's saying, मैं तो देने के लिए ready हूं, तुम लेना सीखो. So is the case in our life. Opportunities are there, options are there. So many things which we can explore. We need to push ourselves. We need to push ourselves beyond the boundaries which we set for ourselves. Let me tell you something very interesting again. In Olympics, if you look at all the players who have won, you will find all of them have displayed bravery in their life. Nothing has been easy for them as well. Another great example here is, if you know this great singer called Sukhvinder Singh, and you know he sang something which has almost become like an Indian national anthem. Chak de India, chak de India. Or for those of you who love dancing, Chala chaiya 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 chaiya. He sang that song. Sukhbir Singh. So once he was interviewed, he was sharing about how he values bravery in his life. He said even in his puja room, he has kept a space where there is an Indian flag. And he also has this place in the puja room where he hangs the posters and the frames of Indian soldiers and the martyrs, because they are the one who are giving life. They are the one who are protecting us. They are the one who are displaying bravery and valor. So he says, every time I go in puja room and bow down, and I look at them, I look at that poster, I look at that frame, it reminds me of bravery. It is not only fee, it is also important for my children. When they go to puja room and to pray, they see that and get inspired, and a part of their bravery becomes a part of you. Isn't it beautiful to have this in puja room? Isn't it beautiful to have Indian flag in puja room? Because कुछ कमाल का करना है, धमाल का करना है ना, then you need bravery. Without that, it cannot happen. Whether it is as simple as you believe something you have, which you want to share it with your principal, but everybody else is very scared to go and talk to principal. You feel what you are doing is right, so you go and talk to principal. Display bravery. Many places, if you have a friend who is doing something wrong, and initially you were thinking, no, if I say, how will they feel? But then you feel, no, they are not doing something right, they are doing wrong. Taking a standpoint, going and telling them, no, hey, this is something which I think you shouldn't do, shows how brave you are as an individual. So even it is as simple as turning on your cameras, right? If you are turning on your cameras, when we are having this discussion, that shows your bravery, that shows you are attentive, that shows that you don't mind showing yourself on camera in a digital format, in a digital communication format. Many things, including a public speaking. One of the greatest quality you can have, which we learned in the earlier session, is ability to communicate public speaking. Do you get fear or you feel confident? But again, remember, bravery is not about absence of fear. It is going ahead despite fear. You going on the dais and addressing the audience or addressing the fellow friends. Public speaking. Displaying bravery again. That's why there is a saying which goes like this. खुदी को कर बुलंद इतना कि हर तकदीर से पहले खुदा बंदे से पूछे बता तेरी रजा क्या है. Bravery, very important mindset to have in life, to live a successful life. Fourth great mindset you can have is the ability to listen. Look at on your screen, the mother is going down to the child's level to listen to the child. She is not asking the child to come to her level and then listen to the child. Same is the case in our life. It is not about the mother-child, it is about two friends, teachers. If you can master this art of listening, you can build very profound, very deep, very meaningful relationships. Because you know what? When you listen, this is a brilliant, creative, magnetic force. You start magnetizing people. Because when you listen to people without interrupting, they feel important. If you want to build great relationships, first thing, learn to be a great listener. Look at all the successful people. You will find them listening more than talking. They do listen more than they do talk. Clear, classical hallmark of all the successful people in the world. Common traits you will find. My question to you, my dear friends, do you listen to understand or do you listen to reply? सोचने जैसी बात है, right? Do you listen to understand or do you listen to reply? Do you listen to understand or do you listen to advise? Can you listen to people without advising? If your answer is yes, yes, you have this great quality, you have this great mindset, and you will progress very well in your life. Very profound and deep. Okay, let's do something very interesting. I'm going to show you something. You need to listen and then do it. Follow it. Do like this. Put your hand on your chin. I repeat, put your hand on your chin. How many of you put it here? Or how many of you put it here? I never said put your hand on your cheek. I said put your hand on your chin. But you will find, my dear friend, maximum people would have put their hand here. Listening, right? Let me give you one more example. So there is this guy whose name is Golu. Golu works in a butcher or a meat shop. He is very tall, hefty guy, 6 feet 2 inch. Waist size is 38. And he works relentlessly every single day for 10 hours. earn close to 300 rupees a day, if I were to ask you, my dear friends, what does Golu weigh? What's the answer? Thinking, what does he weigh? Are you calculating because his height is so much, then what should be his weight and based on BMI calculations? Arey Baba, Golu works in meat shop. So what does he weigh? He weighs meat. Listening is very very important. अभी देखो तुम्हारा बोर्ड का एग्जाम आने वाला है, लाइक 10th एग्जाम विल बी देयर, राइट? 10th एग्जाम, 9th एग्जाम, फाइनल एग्जाम, बहुत पढ़ाई करना पड़ता है, बहुत मेहनत करना पड़ता है. But you know what the crack is, the hack is this. If you are attentive in the class, let's say it's a 40-minute, 50-minute, 60-minute class you have, anyway you will have to be there in the class, right? But if you listen carefully, when you are in the class, do you know your ability to reproduce when you go home and do study, homework will be phenomenal. What others will spend if you don't come to class, or if you come to class but you are not listening, your mind is wandering somewhere, you are doing multitasking, versus if you are listening completely, somebody will take 2 hours but same thing you will be able to do it in 20 minutes. You will save so much time. You will be able to reproduce faster and score better in exams. And you know what? When you listen carefully with undivided attention, you become your teacher's favorite student. Many advantage listening has. Many things in life. Now imagine you are driving a bus. This is a very interesting thing. Huh? So listen to me carefully. Imagine you are driving a bus. So from one place, point A to point B, you want to go. And as you also have a conductor in that bus, it's a 40-seater bus. So some people are getting in, some people are getting off. So on the first stop, 4 people get in and 6 people get off. The first further goes up. Second stop comes. On second stops, 3 people get in and only 1 gets dropped off. Then it goes to the third stop. On third stop, nobody gets in, 4 people get down from the bus. What is the age of the bus driver? What is the age of the bus driver? Scratching your head. Doing the math. Arre Baba, you are driving the bus. So whatever is your age is the age of the bus driver. If I was the driver, I will say, okay, my age is 39. So the age of the bus driver is 39. Interesting, right? That is how powerful listening is. Very underrated, but one of the most important quality all of us should have in our life to progress very well. Very, very important thing. In Denmark, there is a human library. You know what is, have you heard about human library? It is not about books. Here, there is a place wherein everybody comes. All these people who are a part of human library project, they come and they just talk. They just talk to each other. Somebody is going through some setbacks in life. Somebody is going through financial setbacks. Somebody is going through a health setback. They just come and talk and converse and they feel healed. Because listening has got a lot of healing power. You might have seen psychologists, right? 80 to 90% job of a psychologist is just to listen. Because in today's world, people feel they don't have anybody who can listen. And if you can be the one, trust me, you can build phenomenal relationships. You can grow in all facets of your life. Listening, very, very important mindset. The 5th great mindset is called value your time. You know, one of the most precious resource we have in our life is time. How you use your time is reflected by the self-esteem and the priorities of your life. Those who value time will not let you and let themselves lose and waste a lot of time. You know what is the difference between money and time? Money lost can be earned, time lost cannot be earned. You know another difference between money and time? If I were to ask you right now, or let's say in your bank or in your wallet or whatever pocket money your father or mother are giving you, how much money do you get or how much money do you have? almost all of you will be able to tell me, yes, Shripal, I have so much money right now with me. Either it is with me or in my wallet or in my bag or in my bank account. Let me ask you another question. Do you know how much time you have? Can even one of you answer this? I cannot answer this. You cannot answer this. Nobody can answer this. The best of the best people cannot answer this. The president and the prime minister cannot answer this. Nobody knows how much time they have in their hand. Value your time. If you respect time, they say time will respect you. When I was in my 7th standard and when I met Professor A.V. Zadav, who changed my life completely, he told me, Shripal, you need to learn to manage your time properly. And I will help you for that. He created a timetable for me that this is the time to wake up every single day. After waking up, do meditation for 10 minutes. After that, do exercise for so much time. Then when you are exercising, it is not only about doing exercising using weights, but it is about doing shirshasana, because the blood goes down, the concentration improves, the memory improves, lot of things like this. And how do I plan? What should be my playing time? Because you also need to unwind yourself. But there is a slot which was allocated for every single activity in life, and I blindly followed that. And a magic happened in my life. A student who scored only 53% in 6th standard came first in 7th standard. Brilliant if you can really master time and value your time. Because those who value their time, you will not find them wasting their time either by themselves or with others. Very, very important mindset one can have. Because remember, time gone, you can't undo it. This is probably the only thing in life. Time, sometime, few relationships, sometime opportunities, especially money and opportunities you can earn, you can get it back. Time, you cannot get it back, my dear friends. If you know how to master time, you will have time for everything. You will have time for playing, you will have time for partying, you will have time for spending with your friends, you will have time for your family, you will have time for your health, and you will be able to live a true holistic life when you know how to value your time. The sixth great mindset you can have is never blame anyone. Swami Vivekananda so beautifully said, never blame a man, never blame a God, nor others, but if you are suffering, blame yourself and just get better. So beautifully he said. Because isn't it the case in our life also? When we are busy fixing the blame on somebody, we are losing the opportunity to fix the problem. And we are wasting energy in fixing the blame instead of fixing the problem. Introspect your life, look into your life. Are you somebody who likes to blame, or you are somebody who says whatever happens I will take the responsibility? You will have many scenarios in life. It may happen that some of the students, you have studied really well, you've been very honest, you've been very sincere, somebody cheats and gets better score. How do you handle this? Do you blame him that no, he cheated, he did this, he did that? Or do you say, अभी देख, next time कमाल का करेगा, धमाल का करेगा, I will do so well? What is your mindset? Because my dear friends, I have seen in my life also, whether it is studies when I was a student, back in the school days, whether it is the business, every time I have tried to blame somebody, it has never helped me. There is no progress which happens. Or can you think of any scenario from your life wherein you blamed someone and it helped you? Not a single. Not a single scenario you will get, not a single example you will find wherein you blame somebody and it helped you. That's how the design of life. Always take charge, take responsibility. Because when you take charge, when you take responsibility, because this is your life. So no blame, no complaint, no excuse. And when you say my life is my responsibility, everything changes. Look at Tokyo 2021. I have a huge respect for the way entire Japan has handled Olympics despite all the pandemic in the world. More than 1,000 players coming from 200 different countries, different venues, different sports, different culture, different food habits. Despite that, everything went so seamlessly because they never blamed. Instead, they focused on systems, processes, infrastructure, and that created magic. If you want to live a great life, you need to develop a mindset wherein you should say, I will never blame anyone, come so what, no matter what, I will never blame anyone. Seventh, very important mindset you can have, which is kind of a secret to the universe, is called gratitude. Being grateful for everything what you have in life. What is gratitude? Gratitude is nothing but seeing good in everything and being thankful for it. Gratitude is nothing but counting your blessing. Because when you thank for what you have, you get and magnetize more of it. When you concentrate and focus on what you don't have, you never ever get enough of it. The opposite of gratitude is arrogance. Someone who has gratitude, success never goes in their head. Someone who is arrogant, they feel, मैं तो तोप हूँ, I am AK-47, I am the best than the rest. Or they keep cribbing, I don't have this, I don't have that. You will find this classic quality. Look at your friends, look at your people around. You will find those who are saying, if you say yourself, if I don't have this or I don't have that, maybe we need to deepen our gratitude. What do we say? Or do we say, no matter what, whatever I have, that itself is so much. Look at so many people, they don't have anything. So is the case in our life. I have a daughter, her name is Krisha. It's lovely, incredible daughter I have. So we have a ritual of celebration in our house wherein on birthdays, instead of just going and partying, that also we do. But besides that, we go and visit either orphanage or blind school. So it was Krisha's first birthday a couple of years back. And we had gone to a blind school in Koregaon Park. And we had taken fruits and sweets. And that time it was a mango season. So we had also taken Alfonso mangoes. So when we went there, we first started for a few minutes with the principal of this blind school. And then he called everybody in their mess. When all these students who are coming there, they cannot see. The way they are able to manage and come and sit on the bench properly, then the plates were kept in front of them. And the moment, my daughter Krisha kept the first mango in the plate, the guy took this, smelled it, it was an Alfonso mango, and he shouted so loudly, he was so happy. It is as if somebody has been in jail for 20 years and now this is what he has got. My dear friends, that day when we visited that blind school, all of us had tears in our eyes because we realized, don't we take so many things granted in our life? God has given us so much, a great and a fit body, all five senses, so many opportunities, such a lovely people around, great family, great friends. Do we really value and do we say thank you God for all the time and all the things we have in our life? That is gratitude. That day I realized the importance of gratitude. Do you know your mother has cried many more times. She has cried for you than for herself. Do you know your father himself has sacrificed so much because he couldn't get so many things in life and he feels that you should get all of it. Shouldn't we be grateful towards them? Your teachers, your principal, they do so much, going beyond the boundary. Their only purpose in life is that you should grow in life. You should do something meaningful. You should make your life count. So much they have done. We should feel tremendous gratitude for all of them. They have played a very big role in shaping for who we are today. This is about people. Let me talk about Even the place of work, whether it is office or when I was a student, I think again Professor A.V. Zado played a phenomenal role in my life. He said your studies and your books are like your temple. You should never disrespect them. This is your temple, because when you are a student, this is what is your work, right? It is as if going to an office. You are what you are. You score well, you get into the best college, and that's how you create your life. But you can only score well when you have great books, great accessories, whatever, writing papers, writing pads. And he said, even for those things, you should have a lot of gratitude, because so many people in life don't even have that. You've been very lucky and blessed one to have this. You should even be thankful for that. Even to such an extent, if you are feeling extremely cold, somehow you managed because there was a great blanket you had with you. So with that blanket, somehow you managed, and you pulled it off through the night, and next day you went and saw the doctor. Just even that blanket, you could go to the doctor because the blanket was there. How do you show respect to the blanket and say thank you to the blanket? By folding it properly and keeping in the right place. We got to express gratitude, and express gratitude on a daily basis. That's why they say write gratitude journal. Every day write at least 3 things what you are grateful for. So much we have got in life, we need to value it, my dear friends. An Indian poet named Kabir Das, once he got to know about another poet. His name was Rahim. And Rahim used to donate every single thing what he has earned throughout the day. Whatever he earned, he donated in the evening. And again, next day he will go to work. Whatever he has earned, he will donate everything in the night. And when Kabir got to know about it, he could not believe it. So he wrote 4 beautiful lines and sent it to Rahim. What did he write? He wrote, ऐसी देनी देज तू कीत सीखे होसेन, ऐसी देनी देज तू कीत सीखे होसेन, जो कर ऊंचो कर त्यो नीचे नैन, जो कर ऊंचो कर त्यो नीचे नैन. So why did Kabir say this? Because Kabir was amazed that whatever he earns and he gives it back, and do you know what? When he gives it back, as his hands are going up like this, his eyes, his nayans are going down. He doesn't even have an eye contact with the person whom he is giving. Kabir was touched, and that's why he wrote those 4 lines. And then what happened? When Rahim got it, Rahim saw it, he just smiled with that peace and grace, and he wrote 4 more lines and sent it to Kabir. What were those 4 lines? देनहार कोई और है, बेजत जो दिन रैन, लोग भरम हर पर करे, तासो नीचे नैन. And then Rahim says, देनहार कोई है. I am not giving. Somebody else is giving. This is him. Almighty, God, universe, cosmic energy, divine force. He is the one who is giving. Who am I? So if he is giving, how can I even have an eye contact with the person? I am just so thankful for him because he is giving all the time. What a brilliant quality. Think about it. If we can develop such gratitude in our life, we will have a very holistic life. Very, very holistic life. As you know, in a book called Prophet, Khalil Gibran writes, the earth should also be grateful for the rain, because when the rain is come, that's how the glory of the earth is seen. That's how you see the greenery. But then he also says the rain should also be grateful to the earth, because if earth not been there, where would have rain gone, and how would have gotten its own glory what it has got? A giver and a receiver both should have equal gratitude for each other. Look at your life. Think about areas wherein you should be grateful. We have got so much in our life Let's use this as a powerful tool and make our life count. What do you say? Life is an endless series of experiment, isn't it? If we experiment a lot in our life, our future cannot be same as our past. But if we don't experiment in our life, our future will be equal to our past. Experiment is the life. Every day new experiment is there, new things are there, new possibilities are there, new horizons are there, new avenues are there. If we don't experiment, how will breakthrough happen in our life? Look at a scientist, the way he experiments. Look at a child who is learning to walk. He experiments. He still falls down. He crawls. He falls down. He tries to again stand up. He falls down. But one day, the same child who could not even crawl, he starts walking confidently. But unless they experiment, they cannot do this. Very, very important part of our life, because when you experiment, no, whatever it is, if you like trekking, bungee jumping, kite flying, painting, singing, cooking, when you experiment with new things, millions of neurons get fired up in your brain, and it secretes certain hormones, certain enzymes, and it brings you back in the peak state. When you go to a restaurant, rather than ordering all the time idli, vada, sambar and a masala dosa, can you order and explore new dishes? When you go to a dessert shop, instead of all the time ordering a ras malai and a gulab jam, can you also try some other dessert? When you explore, when you experiment, then only you get to know about what other things are there in life, right? Because you know what? There is a brilliant thing about experiment. When you experiment, it teaches you two important things. First, it teaches you what to do and how to do. And second, it teaches you what not to do. Yeah? Very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. We got to experiment in our life. Every single day we should do something which we haven't done before. And then you see how active, what will be your peak state of mind. With the energy you have, you will be able to do and accomplish a lot more than what you would have otherwise accomplished. Let me give you an interesting example. So, when you are going through this period of life, some of you, I know now you are going to smile and laugh and say, "हाँ sir, exactly, इसका च wait कर रहा था." Some of you may have had already crush on someone. That is, what is it? It is an experiment, right? Maybe first crush, maybe second crush, maybe third crush. Now you know how to handle relationships. Now you know what to do, what not to do. And then finally, one day you decide to get married and get settled. By the way, once you do that, that time don't experiment, okay? Need to experiment in life. Even a popular game as Legos, which I'm sure all of you know, why it is popular? Because Legos allow you to experiment with a lot of things. Create new shapes, new forms, use your creativity. Because every time you play that, again those millions of neurons are getting fired. A lot of hormones are getting secreted in your brain. And it brings you back in the peak state. I experimented in my life a lot of times, and I still do every day. So I never sat. I think one of the biggest experiment for me with myself was when I got admission for my master's in bio nanotechnology in US in California. I had to go to US. Now it looks very normal. Hopping on a flight is like jumping on a bike. But that time it was a big deal in 2003. Especially because I have never sat in aircraft before that in my life. I have never taken any domestic flight. Nobody in my family, neither my father nor my mother, they had sat in aircraft before that. And this was my turn now. The first aircraft I sat in my life, there are so many butterflies. How will it happen? How will it take off? I chose to sit next to the window because I can see down. And oh my God, it was an experience. But it was a big experiment, but it worked. Right? Now you don't feel anything. Now every day you take 3 flights and it is absolutely okay. Because you experimented, you could pull it off so well. I want to show you something very interesting. For last 5 years, I have been working on a project which is all about replacing the blood for testing in diabetic. So if you have anybody in your family or around, they use blood. You need to prick your finger to draw the blood. And then only you can measure with the glucometer. Every single day you go to prick and look at their finger, they become almost sensationless. So I have been working on experimenting and developing a very innovative product which can change the world, and that is without drawing a drop of blood, without pricking your finger, without using any needle, can we give similar or better results? And this is the strip which we are working on right now. This is an experiment which we are doing for last 5 years. Lot of experiment failed. This is our third generation strip, because then it worked but it was not stable, then it was stable but it was not giving desired result, then it worked but different lighting, different backgrounds. Finally the experiment worked, and now within next 2 quarters we are launching this worldwide, which will be the world's first saliva based glucose and a diabetic detection kit. Very interesting. And without experiment, do you think this would have happened? Because there is nothing like this in the world. Unless you experiment, sometime you succeed, sometime you fail. But unless you experiment, you cannot build something which is truly miraculous, truly path breaking. Very, very important quality, my dear friends, we need to have is an ability to experiment a lot. The ninth great mindset you can have is to understand others' point of view. Having different point of view, having difference of opinion doesn't really mean disrespect. It is just a different way of thinking. It is just different way of looking at things. Because communication begins with my point of view, which is my truth, with your point of view, which is your truth, but rarely there is an absolute truth, isn't it? I may look at this. For me, when I graduated, I felt that I was cut out for engineering, hence I took engineering. Maybe someone who has scored equally well, they might have felt that they should go and study medicine and become a doctor, their point of view. At the same time, somebody believed that I want to specialize in law, and they went and became a successful lawyer. At the same time, somebody wanted to create a career in fashion designing, and they went because their point of view was different. It doesn't mean they are wrong. It's just a different point of view. Look at, even on your screen, you have this image of a cricket match here. If the bowler throws a ball and if the wicketkeeper drops the catch, now what is the batsman's point of view? Arey, bach gaya, right? He thinks that, yes, I got one more chance. He's happy. His emotions are happy. Umpire thinks that he could have got out, but he couldn't because he dropped the catch. The bowler is going through a complete different emotions. He feels disappointed because the wicketkeeper dropped the ball. Different point of view, same thing. An audience, whoever, if the audience is there who is supporting the batsman's team, they will cheer up because the catch was dropped. Different point of view. But that doesn't mean they are wrong or the bowler is wrong. My dear friends, if you can develop this is again a secret key to building beautiful, deep, meaningful relationships. To understand others' point of view. When you start, whether it is your friends, your two friends are there, they are having a discussions. Some wants to go to this, Lonavala, you wants to go to Mahabaleshwar. Different point of view. But that doesn't mean he is wrong or you are right, or he is right, you are wrong. It's just different point of view. Understanding that, acknowledging that with peace, and still conversing and communicating means you have and you understand others' point of view. Beautiful quality to have. The 10th magical mindset you can have is honest self-assessment. Because honest self-assessment is like that picture which you saw, right? You feel that you got six pack and solid shoulders, but look in the mirror. Do you really believe that you got that? Are you really honest that you have that body, or you have body with lot of fat flowing all around? Self-assessment, very, very important tool. If you see all successful people in life, they use this tool. Because unless you are honest to you and yourself, who else will be? You need to be very critical when it comes to your own assessment. Now, based on, let's say, quality number one, Kamal Karo, Damal Karo, being brave, like that, if you were to rank yourself on a scale of 0 to 10, how will you rank and assess yourself? So, if you see on your screen now, there is a table. That table says where you are now, where you would like to be 1 year from today. Ideally, you should do this assessment every 3 months, every quarter, and see how you have progressed. Rate yourself on a scale of 0 to 10. So if you think when it comes to Kamal Karo, right now I am 6, right? 6. If you believe that you should be 10 out of 10 by the end of 1 year when it comes to Kamal Karo, write 10 out of 10 after 1 year, and monitor this, track this, assess this regularly. Here we are also sharing a Google form for self-discovery assessment. Once you go through this, you will discover a lot about yourself. You will also discover where you stand right now and where you want to be. You will be able to track your progress, and there are some surprises, there are some batches which are waiting for you. So click on the forms and the link below and fill up for getting a self-discovery assessment. So friends, didn't we have a magical session today? We started the entire session by discussing the magic of 10, the power of 10. Then we learned that to progress well in life, to be successful in life, to be a kamyab in life, we need to master these 10 great magical mindsets. What are those mindsets which we learned today? Anybody? Think about it. First, Kamal Karo. Second, Dhamal Karo. Third, being brave in whatever you do. Fourth, ability to listen. Fifth, valuing your time, because we learnt you value time and the time will value you. Sixth, never blaming anybody. Seventh, anchoring yourself to gratitude. Eighth, experimenting a lot in life on a daily basis. Ninth, understanding others' point of view. And last one, the 10th one, the magical one, being very honest when it comes to your own self-assessment. And you know what? Keep Moving Movement has done something very interesting. It has built a platform which is a WhatsApp channel wherein you get a very interesting insights, very deep, profound support systems, and a very gamified approach to all this learning in form of games, quizzes, batches, leaderboards. So are you all excited? To get onto this WhatsApp platform, you need to send hi or hello on this number what you see on your screen, which is 77410 I repeat, 77410 My dear friends, we often say that I am proud of India. We wear these t-shirts which says I am a proud Indian. My question to you is, can we do something so magical with this 10 great mindset which we learned today and do something incredible in life where this mother India, Bharat, should be able to say, I am proud of you. Thank you so much and I wish you all the best.